Getting lean is easy, actually. I mean, that sounds like a total lie, doesn't it? But what if the real secret wasn't some new workout routine or a magic pill? What if it was all about a few simple but powerful mental tricks? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. The hidden psychology of getting truly lean, especially when things get really, really tough.
And our source material just dives right in with this pretty intense idea. Now look, whether you agree with that statement or not, it makes an absolutely crucial point. The drive to get lean, a lot of it is psychological. So if you want to win the physical battle, you have got to master the mental on first.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle the exponential hunger problem. Then we'll talk about why you need to beware the protein slop. After that, we've got 3 rules for the grind, and we'll wrap it all up with what might be the real secret: patience. Let's dive in. Okay, let's jump right into part 1, the exponential hunger problem. This is the big one. This is why most diets feel completely impossible right when you're about to cross the finish line. A physicist once said this, and honestly, it just perfectly captures the entire problem we're talking about. And don't worry, this isn't about a math lesson. It's about understanding why your willpower seems to just completely vanish a few weeks or months into a diet. So to make this crystal clear, just look at this example. Let's say you have $1 of debt, and it grows at just 2% a day. Seems like nothing, right? I mean, after 60 days, it's a little over $3, no big deal. But in 5 years, that $1 explodes to over $48 million. It starts so slow you barely notice it, and then, boom, it's completely overwhelming. And that, right there, is exactly what happens with your hunger when you're dieting. It doesn't just add up day by day, it compounds. The hunger you feel in week 10 isn't just a little bit worse than week 5. No way, it feels 10 times worse. It's an exponential curve, and because people don't see it coming, that's precisely where most diets completely fall apart. All right, moving on to part 2, we need to talk about something called protein slop. And trust me, this is a so-called healthy food trap that gets almost everybody. So what on earth is protein slop? Well, think of it as highly processed junk food that's wearing a health food costume. We're talking about those protein bars that are basically just candy bars, right? Or those healthy cereals that are just packed with sweeteners. They are literally engineered to make you overeat them, and they always leave you craving more. And that is the trap. It's marketing magic. You see that big word protein slapped on the label, and you automatically think, oh, this is a good choice for me. But the source material is super clear on this. Just because it's marketed as your friend doesn't mean it's going to help you out when that diet gets really, really hard. So the whole point is to find your ideal protein source. And this little chart here breaks it down perfectly. You've got 2 factors: how filling is it and how addicting is it. Down in that bottom left corner, you've got the absolute worst zone. Not filling, but super addicting. Think protein bars. But where you want to live is the bottom right, the ideal zone. We're talking things like tofu, lean meats, foods that are super filling, but they don't trigger that I need to eat the whole box feeling. They taste, just enough. Okay, time to get tactical. Section 3 is all about the 3 rules for the grind. This is your practical, hands-on arsenal for when that exponential hunger really starts to kick in. So here they are, the 3 non-negotiable rules. Number 1, track everything you eat. Number 2, eat your water. And number 3, take your mind off food. Let's break each one down.
Rule number 1, track everything. And I mean literally everything. See, when you're deep into a diet, your brain starts playing tricks on you. It'll lie to you about those little bites, those tastes, that handful of nuts. The second you stop tracking, you start slipping. It's a simple rule. What doesn't get tracked gets overeaten. Period.
Okay, now for rule 2, and listen up, because this one is a total game changer. You have to eat your water, not just drink it. Just look at the difference here. When you drink a glass of water, sure, it fills your stomach for maybe 10 minutes, then it's gone. But when you eat your water, we're talking high water content foods, that food takes hours to digest. It creates real, genuine fullness that actually lasts. And this recipe is the perfect example of this idea in action. It's called the 300-calorie void filler, or as the source calls it, oat soup. It's brilliant. You basically take oats and microwave them with a bunch of water to expand them. Then you do it again with more water. Then you mix your protein powder with a full glass of water and pour that into the super expanded oats. What you're left with is this giant warm bowl of, oat soup that's only 300 calories. It takes forever to eat and keeps you feeling full for hours. It is an incredibly powerful tool.
And that brings us to our final rule, rule number 3. You have to take your mind off food. Look, this is psychological warfare. You have to engineer your environment for success. That means getting those trigger foods out of the house. It means staying busy with work, with a hobby, whatever. The goal here is simple. Limit the number of chances that hunger has to win the battle.
And all of this brings us to our final section, the one that really ties everything together. And that's patience. And this isn't just some fluffy advice. According to the source, this is pretty much the entire secret.
So here's the big reality check. Getting ripped isn't some complicated puzzle you need a PhD to solve. It's just about being relentlessly, almost boringly consistent, day in and day out for a long, long time. And this right here, this is what that consistency looks like in the real world. It's a super simple to-do list. You wake up, you weigh yourself. You hit your calorie and protein goals. You do your workout. You go to sleep. And then you just repeat it. None of those tasks are actually hard, are they? The real challenge is having the patience to do it again and again and again, especially on the days when progress feels like it's stalled. And this is where we hit a huge paradox. See, in almost every other part of life, obsession is a good thing, right? It leads to faster, better results. But with dieting, obsession is the enemy of progress. The more you obsess over every little detail, the more you think about all the food you can have, and the more likely you are to just completely break. Which kind of leaves us with this final big question to think about. Is obsessing over every single calorie, every macro, and every pound on the scale, is that the very thing that's making you fail? Maybe the real secret isn't more obsession, but less. Maybe it's about learning how to put the whole process on autopilot, trust that it's working, and just be patient. Definitely something to think about.